At the break of morning, we saw, I think, 2 sets of doe fawns walk through, and super excited, right? Coming out of our skin already, and it was barely daylight. And Jackson already was ready to take the shot. Let's just wait. Let's just see what, I mean, let's get some sun come up. Let's see what happens, right? He's like, okay, fine. Moments later, another doe and fawn come through, and just anticipation is building, and you can just see it in them, right? And I'm like, I am enjoying watching the doe and the fawn come through and watching them feed, and just supernatural. He's like, I'm ready to shoot this thing. Like, let's shoot it now. And so they leave, and he's just super angst over, like, I want to shoot. Come on, almost into tears, like I'm ready to shoot. And I said, fine. Whatever comes in next, fine. I mean, it's not even 8 o'clock yet, and sun rises at, 7, after 7. Fine. And so then, lo and behold, I see a group of deer coming in, and they're all little bucks, like spikes and fork horns, and with their velvet still on their horns, and I grunt, stop them. Okay, shoot, Jackson, whenever you're ready. I see him looking through the gun, through the scope. Nothing.
I couldn't see him through the scope.
We reset, right? Get the chair moved up, get the scope situated. Now, can you see? Where can't you see? Can you see the bottom of the hill? I mean, just everything, right? It's probably 8:30 by now. I mean, it's been an hour and a half. That much excitement, right? So it's probably 8:30, 8:45. And there was 2 bucks, big mature bucks. I mean, one was a really big 8-point. And then I saw this one that had a brow tine coming off. It looked like a split. So I just glanced. I mean, they're in the woods yet, and they're going to come into our shooting lane. And I said, Jackson, there's going to be a buck coming out, and he's a good buck. Don't look at the antlers. He sees it. I mean, you could just see, I'm like, I told you not to look at the antlers. I know, but it's huge. So I said, all right. So I'm coaching him through it, like, okay, don't look at the antlers. Look where you want to shoot it. Make your shot. Look at where you're going to shoot it. Okay.
Just target practice.
This target practice, that's what we were saying. So it comes out into the open. He looks up at me. I can see him pulling the trigger. It's not firing. I'm like, 2 things. That's bad that he's not looking down the scope and he's pulling the trigger. Second of all, it didn't go off. I take the gun from him. I try to get out of view. I'm trying to rack a new bullet in. I mean, it's clanking. It won't load the new bullet. The bullet falls on the ground. It won't load. Finally, I'm like looking out, just please be there. Get it racked. Get it in his hands. I mean, this time the deer thankfully was eating and moving on a little bit. I grunt. I said, take the shot. I'm like, my adrenaline is building, and I can only imagine where he's at. And the whole time I'm thinking, I hope he doesn't miss like he did, because he's so pumped up, right? Take the shot. Silence. Boom. And I can watch the deer like jump, like it kicks. I'm like, okay, I think that's a good thing. And we're just like fist bumping, hugging, and I'm like, yeah, we're just like stoked, right? And I mean, it was like, okay, we gotta wait. No, let's go. So we get down and we start looking for the blood trail and walk up on it, and man, we were just like, there it was. He walks up to it, and he looks at me with the big eyes, and just laying there, and Manny picked it up and smiling ear to ear, and we were just...
We were in the shack, and I was just so tired because we woke up really, really early, and I didn't have breakfast, so I was like, oh. And so I just started to doze off, and then all of a sudden I just lights out.
Similar to the first time hunt, we're out in the same spot. It's the opening morning of the youth hunt 2021, and unlike the first time we were successful, this time we're not seeing nothing. I mean, it's daylight, and I think in the distance we saw a doe and a fawn kind of trot through distance.
And then we saw a doe and a fawn go to eat.
Yep.
Go eat.
We did see a coyote for the first time. That was cool. Something we've never seen before. As we're sitting there, I'm just looking through my spots, and all of a sudden I look back to my right out his window, and all of a sudden there's a deer there. I mean, I was just, like it was a ghost that appeared out of nowhere. And I look, and I didn't even get my binoculars up. I could tell that it was a shooter buck the second he lifted his head. I, with one arm, grab him, wake him up as I'm reaching for the rifle to put it in his chest so he could shoot this thing. And he's like, what, where, what? I'm like, deer, out your window, shoot. And he's kind of getting himself and bringing the gun out. And I'm like, because it was a super tight window where this thing came out of this like swamp little area and was going to this pine, and there was a really short shot window. So I was really rushing him to get the shot because he's sleeping, right? So he gets it up, he gets ready. I said, shoot whenever you're ready. Are you ready? Are you ready? Yep, I'm ready. I grunt, the thing looks up at us, boom, he shoots.
And you missed the video too.
Oh yeah, I wanted to GoPro it. Missed that opportunity, so I'm trying to get everything. He shoots. We're stoked, we're pumped, high fives, hugging, fist bumping. And so, I watch it run through the woods, run out, and it runs behind us. So I'm like, cool. Well, let's go check for some blood. And I was gonna cut it off, and I can't find any blood.
We went a little further,
Yeah.
and I saw the blood.
And we go 10 feet further, and boom, there it was. Big old pile of blood. We're like, sweet. So then we gather our stuff. It was like minutes. So we gather our stuff, and I knew it was close, and I had no idea. So I said, let's give it some time. We get all our stuff, bring it to the truck. All right, let's go track this thing. And we're tracking and tracking. And all of a sudden we walk up on it, and he looks at me, and I look at him, and I'm like, and we walk up on it, and I'm just like, wow, that is a beautiful looking buck.